Here is one way you can create a tessellation by rotation. First of all, in Pages, we're going to start off by making an equilateral triangle, and I'm going to do that by clicking on Shapes and selecting the first item there, which is a line. This line I'm just going to put in the middle of my page here, and I'm going to do a copy paste. I can go to Edit, Copy, and Edit Paste, or Command C, Command V for copy paste. And then this line, I'm going to go up here to the inspector, and I'm going to click on the metrics inspector, which is the ruler, and at the bottom I'm going to change that angle to be 60 degrees because we know in an equilateral triangle there are three angles that have to add up to 180 degrees, and 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180. Notice how I took that line now at a 60-degree angle and lined it up with the bottom line to form the angle. And I'm going to do one more copy and paste. And now I'm going to take this square and put it down here, and the other square and line it up with the top so I have a triangle. Notice that blue line comes across the middle when it's all correctly lined up. The next thing I'm going to do is going to go to Shapes, and I'm going to click on the triangle. I'm going to put the triangle and try to match it up exactly with what I have on the screen. So it's just going to take a little movement on those little white boxes to line it up exactly. So now I have a green triangle on top of that triangle I just created. The next step is to look at this bottom right hand box and find out what number appears for the width. Notice it's 2.06. I want to go exactly half of that. Half of 2.06 is 1.03, so I'm going to move my mouse over here and get to 1.03. And then I'm going to take the top middle box and squish that down so that the green triangle looks something like this. I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, and I'm going to take this triangle, and in the inspector, the same place I was before, the metrics inspector with the ruler, I'm going to rotate this one 180 degrees. So now the triangle has rotated 180 degrees, and I'm going to line that triangle up like so. So when you're finished with this step, this is what your triangle should look like. The next step is to take shapes. The shape tool, the very bottom one, has a pen with three dots. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to start in the corner and click once. Then I'm going to come up and inward a little bit or outward. It really doesn't matter. You just don't want to go too far out or too far in. So I'm going to click about here. I'm going to come inside my triangle and click once about here. I'm going to come up top to the top vertex of the triangle, click at the top, and I will end by clicking back where I started. I'm going to do a copy, paste. Again, I can use the edit menu to do copy, paste. And I'm going to take that pasted item again in the inspector. This time I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees. And then I'm going to use my arrow keys on my keyboard to actually line that up so that this same thing that I've drawn on the left hand side is going to be on the right hand side, so it looks something like this. So if you're a visual spatial person, this drawing makes sense to you, but if you're like me, sometimes I look at these things and it's really confusing as to what we've done here. So basically, if you can imagine, this is a triangle, our original triangle, but we've cut out this triangle right here at the bottom. We've cut that out and rotated it, and we have pasted it now here at the bottom of the triangle. Let's move over here to the side. Up here at the top, I've cut out this triangle at the top, and then I've pasted it or rotated it and pasted it on the other side. Same thing with this triangle right here. I've cut out this triangle and I've rotated it around, and now it's on the other side. So it's really important to know what triangles we've cut out for the next step. The next step is to take that same tool, the pen with the three dots underneath shapes. I'm going to start in the same corner that I did before, And then I'm going to outline my new shape that has all of the new triangles and the ones that have been cut out. So I'm going to come up here, then go inside, then click up top, then out, then down, then out, then down, up into this top, and then back down where I started. So I have now this outlined shape that is my new shape from the original triangle that has all the triangles that have been cut out and then rotated. So I'm going to quickly go up here to sections and add a new page, and I'm going to bring that new shape down here to my new page. Some things you can do with that shape are in the inspector. The graphic inspector is the fourth one over with the circle and square. You can fill your shape in with colors and designs and different things. I'm just going to stay pretty simple here right now. You can fill it in. You can also go to stroke where it says line. You can make it thicker or thinner, and you can also change the color of the line. So once you've done that, I'm going to do a copy and paste, and then in the inspector I'll go back to that graphic inspector and rotate it 60 degrees. What that allows me to do is move this shape and fit it into place with the other one. So I'm going to quickly go back to my color and change it so you can kind of see how that can change as you move it around. I'm going to do a copy, paste again. This time I'm not going to rotate it 60, but 60 plus 60, which is 120. Then I'm going to move that piece like so. Again, you can go back to the graphic inspector and click on the colors you want filled in. Copy and paste. If you remember last time I did 66 plus 60, which is 120. This time we're going to add another 60, making it 180 degrees. And I will fit that piece in. And again, changing the color. One more after this rotation, I have to add 60 to my 180, which is 240. Fit that piece in, my tessellation right there. You can, again, using the arrow keys is kind of nice because you can move it in smaller increments. So I will click on my colors and do one more rotation of that one, making it 300 degrees and fitting that last piece in to make my entire rotation. I have one more thing to show you here after I change the colors. And that is when you have one complete rotation of your design, you can actually select all of them by clicking on one of the shapes and then holding the control key down and then clicking on each of the other shapes. That selects all of them at one time, and you can go to Arrange, Group, and then Edit Copy, Edit Paste, or Command C, Command V. Now you have a whole nother set of that rotation that you can use. So keep on copying and pasting and fitting those pieces together until you have the entire screen filled, or whatever you're trying to fill. So we have a nice thing here. So copy and paste. I'm just gonna, it's like a big puzzle trying to put all those things together. So kind of gives you an idea. Down here at the bottom there's 125%. I'm just going to click on that, change it to 75% so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like when it's all finished. So we have a nice tessellating pattern by using rotation.